But speaking of continuing with football, we got Shador watch, and it's interesting that there was a lot of Shador coverage when things looked like they were going to be bad, right? He didn't get a pick the first couple of rounds. Shador, right?
Mm-hmm.
He finally gets picked. He gets picked up by Cleveland. Just, oh, well, this is this, that, and the third. It's just constant talk about Shador.
Mm-hmm.
But the interesting thing has, like, the energy is not the same now that he's on a team. And there were some numbers that came out, although it was just scrimmages. His numbers were looking kind of good compared to the other quarterbacks.
He lights out right now.
And why hasn't the news said anything about it? Nobody's reporting it. I know it's still early, but we're talking about in a day and age where everything is microwave, where y'all was saying that he's going to be, they was pretty much shaming him for getting drafted, in the slot that he did. But now it's like, okay, now you ain't got nothing to say because he's playing good.
Yeah, you in a society where just as a regular guy and you've been told all your life that you ain't gonna be this, you ain't gonna be that, and you ain't gonna be this, and they beat you down and all this and that. Then you come up in life and you become a millionaire, and you got a successful business, and you making money, and you doing all the things that those clowns said that you wouldn't do. Those clowns don't come back and say nothing. They quiet now.
Facts.
So that's the same thing. Same thing with Shador. I mean, like you said, it is on the scrimmage, but boy hadn't thrown no picks in scrimmage yet.
Had he thrown 3 picks, that would have been on the
Oh,
first
yeah,
game.
that was been breaking ESPN.
That would have been break. Yo, Shador, he's not ready. 3 picks, whatever.
0 for 20. He can't, they would have broke that down. But you also got to remember, too, I hate to even bring that up, man, but, it's also a color thing, too. We can't be blind to it. If it's Brock Purdy, you would never even heard that he threw 5 picks in practice. You never heard that.
That's a fact.
But a colored man go out there and make a mistake. That's breaking news.
Negativity sells.
Yeah.
So it's easier to market when somebody's doing bad because
Right.
you can just go down a laundry list of add on to, and he's not doing this and he's not doing that. But when he's playing well, which they felt like he wouldn't, because the pressure that he has, as if he's not Deion's son already.
Right.
So, yeah, Shador will be fine. I think we all knew this. It just kind of surprises where he fell into the draft and the people that were picked before him, but he'll be fine. I think he's going to have a season that he would have had whether he got picked first or last.
Right.
He's going to play.
Well,
The kid knows how to ball.
It's just going to mean more now.
Yeah,
more.
he has an audience that he's looking at that, okay, every time I do something, I need to like respond on the field as opposed to with my, braggadocious, larger than life personality. I think he figured that out.
What was that they said that they said they're not purchasing his jerseys from the NFL shop. They're purchasing it from his own website and stuff like that. So they're not purchasing it from the shops around there. Going against the NFL for slighting him. These are fans and of the teams and stuff like that, and people that are not fans of the team.
The NFL's still getting their cut. They got
the
logo on it.
The logo's still on it. You go and get it, but they just making a point. It's like you slighting somebody like that as if he can't come back here and knock. I mean, think about this: if he goes 6-0 in the division, now, slightly we not gonna know. But think if he goes and knocks Lamar off, and then knocks Rodgers off, and then knocks Joe Burrow off. I mean, it's headlines.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make sure that they get out there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if they don't.
I think they'll underplay it.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Something
because look how they're approaching him right now in training camp. When he's doing well, it's underplayed.
Yep,
complete under the radar. I guarantee if he gets into an argument with one of his head coaches or gets into some sort of competitive argument with one of his players or something, that will be headlines.
And we all know that that's just fire that you're trying to get your team pumped up.
Yeah.
It's not that we're just going at you.
Yeah.
Tom Brady do it, and throw the doggone tablet down and cuss Josh McDaniels out and cuss another player out. And it's like, oh, that's just fire energy.
That's passion.
Yes,
Yeah,
you know,
but
that's
then when
just,
Cam,
look, it didn't happen right there. That's crazy.
He's competitive.
that's competitive.
Yeah.
That's passion. But when Cam Newton do it,
Oh.
Cam put a towel over his head. He's a crybaby.
Look
Well,
at that thug. Look at that thug over there.
He just mad that he just wrecked his truck down 85 the other day and drunk and don't even have the whole story as to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just the media, and now I can see why some players don't like the media for that very reason.
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
Narratives.
y'all, okay, I understand you trying to sell whatever it is you're trying to sell, but if you're gonna do that, do the positive too.
I mean,
Don't just do the negative.
AI is a perfect example of that. You going
Yeah.
off on a man because of practice, and this dude's best friend just got killed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're talking about some practice, not knowing what's going on in a
Yeah.
person's life. You
Not
know?
the game. Not the game.
Not
Right.
the game.
You're
talking
talking
about
about practice.
So, you know, we got that. Got Travis Hunter watch, made a spectacular play.
He's
Now I got
gonna
a
be nice.
question for both of y'all. What do you think if you was running the Jags? How do you manage Travis Hunter and his offense and defense?
What
Would
is-
you have him strictly on defense? Would you have him strictly on offense?
I think it's a case by case matchup.
Okay.
I would have him purely dominant as a CB, purely dominant. Let him run those 55 plays, and like I said, a case by case basis, sneak him in on some plays
Yeah.
on the offense, where it keeps them on their toes. Don't do it every play because you know if he comes out there, you know what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Just have some packages set for him to where he can come in, catch the ball or whatever, or get some yardage,
Yeah.
and then go sit back down.
Decoy or whatever.
Right.
Decoy. I mean, that actually makes sense because you throw him in for like 8 to 10 plays on offense. You're not game planning for him because he's not on the field enough. You don't have
Right.
enough film on him to say, okay, he's in the game. Is he really going to get the ball, or is he just out there just to be out there?
Right.
And he's good enough to get open. So if he's open, throw him the ball. You know, so like put him in the red zone. Put him in the red zone. Don't put him on the, you know what I mean? Don't put him where he can potentially, like you put him in on like 1st and 10, you know, after they get four downs, then you put him in, and then it's like, all right, now you're trying to burn him out.
Well-
I would just strictly put him in the red zone.
Well, I would put him in the X slot. I put him in post patterns. I wouldn't put him in the slot
Yeah.
because you're gonna get him killed. Linebackers, and they're gonna knock his head off.
Yeah.
But
So I will put him on the outside because he's a burner. He can run.
Or you can run an offense similar to what they do with Debo, where you can put him in the backfield too.
Nah, he ain't that big.
He's-
He ain't that
I mean,
big
he
to do
can
that.
get a couple
he's
yards.
still running through linebackers.
I don't-
They will kill him.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Debo's, you know how big Debo is?
Yeah.
bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I would
Debo
just
is a big boy.
you can, like you're saying, you can, or you can run a jumbo. You can put him in the slot, two man setup, and let him run off.
Trips.
Yeah, and run up post pattern slant, something like that. But anything slot coming Wes Welker style, he's gonna get killed.
I know one thing. He is going to be able to run both offense and defense. Because when I get Madden 26, I'm picking the Jags. He's going to be on offense and defense. I just hope his stamina's on 99.
Yeah, you better go in the settings and take that off.
Travis Hunter, don't worry. Coach T, he going to have you running offense and defense. Don't worry about it, bro.
You know, like some other packages you could put him, like if you got a team that has like rookie corners or a corner that you want to exploit,
Yes.
put him
Yeah.
in there.
Because that's like trying to run offense, and I gotta give credit to Richard Sherman because I heard him say, he said that's like trying to run on offense, and then when offense is done, now go guard Justin Jefferson on the other
Yeah,
end.
that's crazy.
But you can put him in trips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like put him in a jumbo package where where nobody knows where the routes are going.
Yeah.
You can easily put him in that and limit his hits, so to speak.
that's why granted, y'all probably know way more football than me. I would just strictly put him in red zone because it's not that much. It's not that far of a field that you got to go, and it's just strictly for scoring purposes.
But that's the hardest part of the field to score.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But you could run screens and stuff like that for
Rub routes. Things
Rub
like that.
routes. You
Yeah.
could do
A screen you could do. A screen you could do. Yeah.
Something where If it's not a screen, like you said, if he has a one-on-one matchup,
Yeah.
I'll take Travis Hunter over most DBs.
Yeah, you could exploit that by putting him up there by himself on the
put him
island.
on one-on-one.
Yeah.
I'll take that chance because
Yeah.
okay, he's an athlete.
He's going to attract at least two, the cornerback and the safety.
And
He's
the
going to
safety.
attract.
So he's gonna. So like now I'm saying, even if he's just a decoy, you have to account for him.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's like, okay, as a coach, you got to kind of play that cat and mouse game. Like, are they really gonna throw him the ball? Oh shit, he just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Before you know it, he messing around, be like Shohei. He got a pick and he got a touchdown the same game. It's like, yo, we ain't seen nothing like that since Deion.
But you gotta do it. You gotta do it sparingly though.
Yeah.
Because you keep the defense going. It's like, okay, now I got to have two. He ain't been on the field in 10 plays. He just scored. Now he back on the field. Now I got to put two guys over here that opens the door for other people. You can't just keep putting them on the field every time.
Now, before we started recording, we talked about the play. Now, granted, it's still only preseason workouts, but you want to break down the play, the viral video?
Oh man, he was guarding the wide receiver.
Yep.
All I saw was he was toe to toe. He was already a man in front of him, so he wasn't backed off of him.
Yeah.
And he was stepping with him toe to toe, just looking at him. And then no sooner he turned his head back, the ball was there. He hit the ball, and at the same time falling, caught the ball in front of him. I was like, what the hell? That's just pure talent, man.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
That's why I said I would put him on one-on-ones.
Yeah.
If they got anybody one-on-one, because the level of concentration,
Yeah.
the level of talent, and the hand-eye coordination, because like you said, he wasn't looking at the ball at all.
Awareness. He has great awareness.
By the time he turned his head, it was instant.
Yeah.
Deflect ball, catch ball, boom.
That's
Pick.
all. That's all
That's a clean
Deion.
pick.
That's all Deion prospect right there. That's
Yeah.
If I were to need somebody to teach a DB to do this, man, Deion is the guy you need to do that, man. He saw it.
And when he came out of high school, he was one of the number one. He was probably top 5 in coming out of high school.
He's the number one player.
Number one player,
Deion
right?
already eyeballed
For
him.
him to come straight out of high school, be the number one prospect, and go to Jackson State.
Yeah.
That's all Deion.
Yeah, that's all Deion.
Look at him now. It's all Deion.
Everything he do, man. His boy got a motor. He don't get tired, man.
Yeah.
It's just
That's that Florida stuff, man. There's something in the
yeah.
water out there.
yeah.
Something in the water.